Let's learn about the Book of Joel. Who wrote it? The Book of Joel. It is one of the 12 books in the Old Testament that are referred to as the Minor Prophets, and it's actually not known who wrote this book. It's just attributed to the prophet Joel. Some scholars believe that Joel was the same as Joel, son of Pethuel, mentioned in the Old Testament as being a contemporary of Jonah, but there's no consensus on that. When was it written? Most scholars place the writing of Joel sometime between 850 and 750 BC, so it's one of the earliest books in the Old Testament. What is the main theme? The main theme of the book of Joel is judgment and redemption. In fact, the word judgment is mentioned 16 times in this very short book, only 3 chapters long. Chapter 1 talks about God's judgment on Judah because of their sin. It compares the devastation that the people face with the devastation of an invading army. Locusts are used as a metaphor for these invaders who devour everything in their path. And this devouring is both a physical and a spiritual devouring. It's a judgment from God. They've been unfaithful, so now they have to face the consequences of their actions. But chapter 2, the tone shifts, and the people are encouraged to repent of their sin and to return to God. And there's a promise of blessing if they do so. Joel says that God will pour out his spirit on all flesh. And then he gives this incredible vision of what that would look like. People from all over the world will come and worship God. There will be old men and women who will have prophetic dreams. There will be young people who will see visions. And Joel says that even the mountains will be made to skip and the hills will be made to rejoice. It's an amazing vision of what it will be like when God's people are restored. And it's interesting, many scholars believe that this restoration isn't just a reference to the nation of Israel, but it's actually a reference to the church, all of God's people from all over the world who will come together to worship him. Chapter 3 talks about a great gathering of people at the place that will become known as Mount Zion. It is a vision of the end times where all the nations of the world are gathered together for the purpose of judgment. But the people who are gathered there discover that they are judged by the Lord of hosts, by the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the people are called to flee to the mountains and to hide in the valleys. And the chapter ends with a call for rejoicing because the Lord has a strong house of prayer in Jerusalem. So the main takeaway from the book of Joel is this. God is angry over the sin of his people, but he is very eager to forgive them if they will just repent and turn back to him. How does this book apply to us today? This book encourages us to walk with God, to be faithful to him, because we will face a day of judgment. But it also reminds us that God is full of compassion, and he desires to bless us. He wants us to repent of our sin and turn back to him. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to know more about the Old Testament, check out the playlists where I go through each of the 39 books. And while you're there, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an upload. God bless you.